Hi everyone, my name's Olivia and I'm in the Vanderbilt Law School class of 2026, which makes me a 2L this year, the 2024-2025 school year, and I'm also one of your social media ambassadors this year. So what I wanted to do is take the time to kind of share with you guys my journey of what made me choose Vanderbilt, what made me choose law school, and how I got here, and just kind of give you a deep dive onto some of the decisions I made and some of the things that happened to me that allowed me to pursue this path. And if you aren't thinking about law school, maybe this will convince you. And if you are, I'll be sure to kind of include some tips and tricks and advice about what I wished I would have known during the admissions process, what I wish I would have known about Vanderbilt, and kind of how to make the most of your application experience in your first years in law school. So, like I said, my name's Olivia. I was born and raised in Tallahassee, Florida, and I'm the oldest of 4 girls, which makes it so much fun to have so many sisters. And we actually all 4 live in different states, so definitely a lot of visits and a lot of fun things for all of us. And I think I'm gonna be the only one to go to law school, which is so interesting. And I like to think about how just like growing up as the oldest of 4 girls kind of started to shape that at a young age that I was never aware of, just being like the bossiest and the sassiest and the most type A of the sisters. I think those all like play well into the personality that led me to want to go to law school and to do 3 more years of graduate school after undergrad. And so just thinking about that is just like a funny thing that I like to reminisce on. And so in high school, I feel like a pretty normal high school girl. I love to hang out with my friends. I was on the cross country and track team. I was on a club dance team. I was involved in Dance Marathon, which is a nonprofit for Children's Miracle Network. And when I was 17 and 18, kind of thinking about college, I definitely was not thinking about law school. My dad is actually an attorney. And so I think sometimes like growing up, it was almost the opposite. I would be like, oh my gosh, this is like so many phone calls, so many yellow legal pads. And that's also just funny to me to think now, like how lucky I am to have that kind of role model in my life and to see like the type of work at such a young age around me in such like a present way. And so now I'm thankful for it. But as a 17, 18-year-old, I definitely was not thinking law school, and I decided I wanted to run track and field in college. So I actually ended up moving from Tallahassee to Southern California, where I went to Pepperdine University, which is about 45 minutes outside of LA, and really just took that leap of faith and joined the cross country and track team, joined a sorority, made a ton of friends, and I entered as a business administration major there. So I started as a business admin major because I knew that my skill sets were more business oriented. I liked the mix of like the math-based classes of accounting with the more like social-based classes of HR management and business organizations. And that was kind of the perfect fit for me for a year before I decided to switch to accounting. And then I took managerial accounting and I was like, no, thank you. This is not for me. So instead, I switched to be a finance major, which ended up being the perfect fit for me. I loved the classes and the professors and the skills that I learned that would help me in personal finance as well as business finance. And so just very happy with that decision overall. But I just wanted to insert a piece of advice for anyone thinking, what major should I be to help me go to law school? And I wanted to say that any major is valued and appreciated and has a spot in law school. Some of my best friends here were education majors, psychology majors, poli-sci majors, language majors, that sort of thing. And so there really is no best major for law school. They accept students from that diverse perspective and background because we need lawyers who have those experiences in the world and to represent clients. And so although business major was right for me, that may not be right for you. And I want to encourage you to pursue your dreams before you get to law school, because that'll make you a more well-rounded applicant to speak to how your major has shaped your desire to go to law school in general. So it wasn't until about my junior year that I started thinking about law school, which is crazy. I always imagined I would just graduate, get a job in finance or in business somehow, and I kind of thought I would stay in Southern California because I just loved it. But my sophomore year of school, I had a business law professor who really mentored me and told me, like, you have these skills in my class that I see in a lot of students who go on to law school and then go on to become attorneys, and I think you should consider it. And for the first time, I thought, like, oh my gosh, I'm actually not sure of what I want to do next, and maybe this would be the right next step for me. And so what I did was TA for him for the next year. So I was a teaching assistant, and he gave me research projects and helped me work on the publications he was writing and kind of sit in on the classroom and see the inner workings of the deeper understanding of the law that he was teaching. And I thought to myself, like, oh my gosh, maybe I would like this. And so I started studying for the LSAT the summer between my junior and my senior year. And I did that because I had a little bit of free time. And I just want to say, for anyone thinking about law school, I went straight through from undergrad to law school, but there's no correct path either. If you want to go work for a little and try something out, if you want to go straight through, if you want to graduate early and go to law school, like, there's such a wide range of people here, and you should not be worried at all about whether or not you need to take time off to study or if you need to study during school. I would say just do what feels right for you and what feels right as your next step. And for me, that was studying during the summer while I was still in undergrad. And so I studied for about 5 months, and then I took the LSAT for the first time in August of my senior year. And it was a crazy experience because I just felt like so stressed, and senior year was starting back up and I was starting my final season of college athletics. And so I ended up taking it again in October of my senior year, and that one went a lot better, and that gave me the confidence to be like, okay, this was the goal score that I was going for. I had a private tutor, and I also used textbooks that I got on Amazon. One that I would recommend to you guys is The Loophole by Ellen Cassidy. You can get it on Amazon, I think, for like $15. I loved that one. And so once I got the score that I wanted in October of my senior year, I was like, okay, I'm just going to apply. I'm just going to see what happened. So I applied to 18 schools because I had no idea where I wanted to go. I was open to moving across the country. I was open to staying in LA. I was just totally up in the air. And Vanderbilt was actually the first school that let me in a few weeks later. So I tried to finish all of my applications by about the new year. And then I got into Vanderbilt in February, and I came in March to tour. And I just remember feeling like the tour guides were so authentic. I was able to talk to the admissions officer. I was able to sit in on a class, and I just truly had an experience where I could visualize myself here. Something I was looking for particularly in a school was being able to live in a city and like a greater area that had ways for me to get plugged in with a local church and local community organizations and find friends. And obviously the live music scene and the restaurant scene and everything here is amazing. But I also wanted to know that when I got there, the law students would be my friends, and that it would be very collaborative and cordial and not super competitive. And that's something that really has rung true to my experience here. And I'm so thankful that I took that leap and moved from Southern California to Nashville, because it truly feels like a place where I found friends who will be in my life for a long, long time. And I'm so thankful for that. I think another thing about Vanderbilt that helped me decide was that I was able to join as many clubs as I wanted, get as plugged in, and kind of make the school my oyster in a way. And like doing things like this, like being a social media ambassador, I'm in the running club, I'm in the Women's Law Society, and kind of having a wide range of options where every student can kind of curate their perfect experience was something that I really wanted. And so I'm so thankful that I ended up here. And so that kind of is like a 8-minute version of what led me from being born in Tallahassee, Florida, to ending up 24 years later to Vanderbilt Law School. And I just wanted to kind of give you some advice that I wish I would have had in hindsight. And I think I've kind of touched on some of them already, but it's just be true to yourself and make your life experiences shape you into the type of lawyer you want to be, no matter where you grew up, where you went to undergrad, what score you got on the LSAT. The admissions process, especially at Vanderbilt, is super holistic, and they want students from a wide variety of backgrounds who have a wide variety of interests in the law, and there's definitely a place for you here. I think I felt a little bit worried coming in, like, am I gonna have friends? Am I gonna connect with my professors? And because this is such a diverse and vibrant community, I've been able to find my people and learn so much from people who have different perspectives than me. And I would also say, just take a deep breath. Know that everything will work out for you exactly how it's supposed to. You'll get accepted to schools, rejected from schools, waitlisted from schools, and that's okay. That happened to me. That happened to all of my friends, and we all ended up in a place where we're able to learn from each other and kind of grow with each other. And so I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it kind of gave you a little bit of insight into my life experiences, my journey to Vanderbilt Law, and I hope you're considering Vanderbilt Law as well, because it truly is so amazing. If you have any questions or want to learn anything about what I said or ask follow-up, a more personalized answer, you can send a DM to the Instagram at Vanderbilt_law. I'm listed on a highlight there, so go ahead and send that a message, or you can leave a comment here and I'll try to get back to you. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening and just being there to hear my story, and I hope you end up at Vanderbilt Law one day too.